The corner of Meridian Plaza had become Bella's entire universe. 500 days she had stood there, her crystalline blue skin shimmering under the artificial lights of Station Kepler 7. The other Valorians passed by with pitying glances, their antennae twitching with embarrassment for her. But Bella remained, her three-fingered hands clutched around a small metal token waiting. He said he would return, she whispered to herself for the 1000th time. The station's automated voice announced another departure. Bella's heart sank as she watched the transport vessels lift off through the transparent dome above. None of them carried Canet. It had been 500 days since the human had pressed that token into her palm. 500 days since he'd looked at her with those strange, warm brown eyes and said, "Wait for me here. Bella, I promise I'll come back." Her sister Xena approached, as she did every 10-day cycle, carrying a nutrition pack. "Bella, please. This is madness. Humans don't keep promises like we do. Their lifespans are so short, their memories so fragile. He's probably forgotten you entirely." Bella's bioluminescent markings flickered with defiance. "You don't know Canet." But even as she said it, doubt crept through her thoughts like ice water. The Galactic Council had documented human behavior extensively. Humans were impulsive, emotional, and terrifyingly inconsistent. They started wars over abstract concepts, formed bonds that lasted mere years, and changed their minds like the shifting winds of her homeworld. Yet Canet had been different. During the 3 cycles they'd worked together on the terraforming project, he'd shown her something she'd never seen in any species: stubborn, illogical hope. When the Krill Raiders attacked their station, killing 17 workers, it was Canet who'd organized the survivors. When the food supplies ran short, it was Canet who'd rationed his own portions to feed Bella's injured colleague. "Humans are survivors," Canet had told her once, his face covered in soot from the reactor fires. "We've been counted out 1,000 times, Bella, but we always come back." The memory sustained her through another cold night on the plaza corner. By day 600, even the station security had stopped asking her to move. She had become a fixture, a curiosity, a cautionary tale whispered among the younger aliens. See what happens when you trust a human's word? The Galactic News Network had even run a story. Alien Woman's Vigil, the price of believing human promises. The reporter, a Tenthari with 30 experience cycles, had interviewed her with barely concealed condescension. "And what makes you so certain this human will return?" the reporter had asked. Bella had held up the token. It was a simple thing, a military challenge coin from Earth's old nation-states worn smooth by generations of hands. On one side, an eagle. On the other, words in that beautiful, harsh human language. "This will defend." "Because," Bella had said quietly, "Canet told me humans have a saying, leave no one behind. He said it's not just a motto, it's who they are." The interview had gone viral, but not in the way Bella hoped. It became a meme, a joke across the civilized galaxy. Still waiting for that human became a punchline for disappointment and naivety. Day 700 arrived with a meteor shower, the sky above the dome ablaze with dying rocks. Bella watched them fall and wondered if perhaps Canet had fallen too, somewhere in the vast darkness between stars. Her father came that night, his tall form stooped with age and concern. "Daughter, I have secured you a position on the Council research vessel. Good work, good pay. Please end this." 200 more days, Bella said. "A human year is 365 days. I'll wait 2 human years, then I'll know." Her father's antenna drooped with sorrow, but he didn't argue. Bella realized then how much she'd changed. Valorians prided themselves on logic, on calculated decisions based on probability matrices. She was behaving like a human, driven by faith in something unprovable. Perhaps that was what Canet had given her. Not just a promise, but a very human kind of hope. Day 730 dawned cold and gray. Station Kepler 7's artificial weather system was malfunctioning again, creating a perpetual drizzle that made Bella's corner even more miserable. She'd made a decision. This was the last day. At sunset, she would leave the token on the corner and return to her old life. She'd been a fool, but at least she'd be a fool no longer. The day dragged on. Bella watched the crowds, memorizing faces she'd seen 1,000 times before. At sunset, she knelt to place the token on the ground, her hands trembling. "Bella?" The voice was rough, exhausted, achingly familiar. She turned. Canet stood there, older than she remembered, with a scar cutting across his left cheek and his right arm encased in a medical brace. His clothes were ragged, his hair longer and streaked with gray that hadn't been there before. But his eyes, those warm brown eyes, blazed with the same intensity she remembered. "I'm sorry I'm late," he said, and his voice cracked. "The mission. We got captured by the Krill. 18 months in their prison station. We escaped 3 months ago, but it took—" He stopped, seeing her expression. "Bella, I never stopped trying to get back, never, I swear on everything humans hold sacred." Bella couldn't speak. 730 days of waiting, of doubt, of mockery, and here he stood. "You came back," she finally whispered. "I promised," Kanat said simply, as if crossing half the galaxy to keep a promise to one alien was the most natural thing in the universe. And perhaps, Bella thought as she threw her arms around him, that was exactly what made humans so terrifying and magnificent. They made promises their logic couldn't justify, endured suffering their bodies couldn't withstand, and crossed distances their lifespans shouldn't allow. All because they'd given their word. The other species had their technologies, their logic, their ancient wisdom, but humans had something else entirely. A promise was a promise no matter the cost. That night, the story went viral again. But this time, across 1,000 worlds, the message was different. Never underestimate a human's promise. And on Station Kepler 7, on a small corner in Meridian Plaza, Bella finally left her post, walking away with the human who'd crossed stars to keep his word.